comic book stories set in a post-apocalyptic world with a soundtrack. This is The Fallen World, and this is my Kickstarter project. Follows the story of James, who is on his journey back to his daughter. For a few months now he's been searching for his wife, only to be disappointed by what he finds. James will have to go through places like these, brave times like these. Yes, it's October and it's snowing in Canada. Set a few months after events that happened over a couple of days around the world, humanity has been almost completely wiped out. Most of them have died, but some of them have lost their minds. Most people dying in earthquakes, floods, or mysteriously. And this is the world you'll be exploring in the Fallen World. It's cold here. The Fallen World is a two-part comic book. The part 1, titled The Fallen World Genesis, which is the story of James and on his journey out of the city. He'll get to meet Nikolai, which you can see in the pictures below. James, Nikolai, and Alex are 3 of the characters you'll get to see in The Fallen World Part 1 and Part 2. I've got a couple more characters that I'm keeping as a surprise. Comic book drawings will be made by Pinaki Ghosh as comic book artist, which are the official drawings that you can see for James and Nikolai. I wanted to do something different with my comic, to bring something that you don't really see elsewhere. So, I am an avid listener of movie soundtracks and video game soundtracks, so I was thinking maybe why not do one for the comic. And this is what I set out to do, a comic book with a soundtrack. Some of the songs will be composed by my brother, which is, he's a pianist, and you can listen to the song which is featured in this very video. And others will be composed by me, and it's the second song first song is titled Genesis, which is my brother's composition, and the second song is titled Life Lost. More songs will come eventually. While the creation of a comic book takes a lot of time and effort, I've already put a significant amount to bring you these different drawings and paintings. The money goes to pay the artists, the coloring, and the letterer. It will also give us a chance to pay for the printing and the publishing, as well as giving us time in the recording studio to bring you a better sounding soundtrack. For the rewards, I've got a lot that I put on there for you guys. There's different arts to choose from if you get a chance to donate at one of the $25 tier. You can choose whichever art, either by Eric Mullins, who did the amazing piece of art, which is James and Alex leaving the city on a horse, or you can choose Seahorse Carousel's James and Alex, or even the 2 characters, James and the other one, Nikolai. And as time passes and the Kickstarter campaign progresses, I might be able to bring you guys even more art, more songs, more and even add pages to the final product. I've got a few in mind. If we get to 20,000, I can. There'll be a special limited edition prints that I'll get to give you guys. I'll put it in the comic book as an extra for getting that far. If we get to 25,000, you'll be able to get a special bonus epilogue for part 1, which will reveal a little bit more of what's to come for James. Well, for $30,000, the whole part 1 and part 2 will be funded. I'll be able to put everything into one book, and those that donated at $30 or more will be able to get the comic book, the whole comic book, part 1 and part 2. And since we get that far, I'll even add an epilogue for the whole comic book for part 2. Of course, I have already written up plans for the future of James' story. I've got many things planned for him. Part 1 and Part 2 can be standalone, but I know I can bring James further into this, well, beautiful world that is the Fallen World. I put a lot of effort into writing this, so I'd love for James' journey to continue beyond the 2 parts. And if you guys like it, well, for sure I'll bring you more. I also have many ideas for a spin-off series or origin stories for some of the characters. The script is almost complete for Part 1. I'm doing mostly editing right now. Since this is my first comic book, I'm still in the learning process as far as the publishing goes. I've been looking around for some publishers and found a couple that would suit the needs for my comic book. Once the comic is done, I'll submit it to a couple of publishers, and it'll really only be a matter of time until it finally gets into your hand. The drawings can also have unexpected delays. That's why I set the delivery date to July 2014, but I'm pretty sure it'll be sent to your houses even before that time. This is only a placeholder in case almost everything goes wrong. One last thing, I'd like to thank you for taking an interest in my project. With your help, it can happen. It's pass the word along, to bring friends to see what it is if they're interested. There are plenty of rewards for any donations you give. I'd greatly appreciate it, and I really hope that my creation will one day make it into your hands. I hope you'll enjoy this comic, and thank you for taking an interest in it.